2 episodes of the Gab and Jules podcast every single week. Gab, I saw a clip from your latest one. You're showing what, Gab, your 94 World Cup pass? What's that about?
It's not my 94 World Cup pass. It's called a ticket. It's what people use to get into football matches. I wasn't covering the World Cup professionally in 1994. I was in college. But I had the privilege of going to a game, and weirdly, it's something I found is obviously when you're home and you've got a little more time to yourself, you go and you clean out closets and the like, and I found that souvenir. It was from the 94 World Cup, Giant Stadium, Italy against the Republic of Ireland. Republic of Ireland, of course, beating Italy 1-0, Ray Houghton scoring the goal. And I still had this enduring memory of 60, 70, 80,000 Irishmen going over and over again, ooh, ah, Paul McGrath, say, ooh, ah, Paul McGrath, over and over and over and over again.
Did you cry?
I didn't cry because, although it did kind of bring me back to my younger years, but yeah, I did think back. It was kind of an emotional thing. I wasn't upset. I was more upset on the day because, of course, we'd lost to the Republic of Ireland, the team that we expected to beat. But in the end, Italy did get to the final of that World Cup and lost it on penalties. So, things even out.
Apart from going down memory lane, going back to 94, what else is on the podcast, Gab?
So we've got Sid Lowe on. He talks to us about the situation with Barcelona, and initially looked as if the players were willing to take a pay cut. Then it turned out that maybe they weren't quite so willing. Some of the challenges, obviously, facing Spanish football right now, and Spain, of course, as a whole, as a country. We talked about the letter sent by Premier League clubs to the court of to 8 of the 8 Premier League clubs, 8 in the top 10 positions, I might add, to the Court of Arbitration for Sport, asking them not to give City a stay of execution if they don't deliberate in time, but to enforce the financial fair play ban, which I disagree with. And we talked about, of course, the National League, which is the highest tier below the Football League here in England, voiding the season, which is pretty remarkable because it would mean no relegation from League Two.
And of course, Sesame Street style, you talked about the letter B, a team of current players with a surname that begins with B. Interesting, Gab, no Gareth Bale in this team.
No, look, I had a little bit of fun with it. I put guys in there that I liked. So, for example, I put the Barnes brothers, Harvey and Ashley, who of course aren't actually brothers. But if you notice, every time Craig Burley, whose name also starts with a B, brings up Harvey Barnes, he calls him young Harvey Barnes, which is not an adjective he uses for other people. I have Ashley Barnes in there because he's kind of like the Sergio Ramos of strikers, in the sense that you hate him and he's horrible, but then secretly you wouldn't mind having him on your team because he's got big stones. Ever Banega I have in there simply because of his wild and wacky career and adventures with cams and in toilets. And of course, yep, I have not one but 2 representatives from Sheffield United: George Baldock at right back, and Chris Basham at centre back, aka better known as Bashambauer, for the way he comes forward with the ball.
I've been told you'll be getting a lot of traffic from this, Gab.
It's proving to be weirdly super popular. Now, some people go and take this very seriously in the terms of like, oh, what is my best possible 11? How do I get the right tactical balance? Stuff like that. Other people just put in players that they like. We've had a lot of debates about, eligibility. For example, I had Allison in the A's, and then a bunch of pedants came forward and says, oh, but his last name is Becker. You need to have him in the B's. My word is final in this, of course, as is Jules's. So no Allison Becker. Allison, he gets a start for the A team. No place for him on the B team.
Thanks so much for watching ESPN on YouTube. And for more sports highlights and analysis, be sure to download the ESPN app. And for premium content and live streaming, subscribe to ESPN Plus.